Hey guys, today I want to show you the top 10 chocolate cakes around the world. You will be very surprised by what I found for the top 5, so keep watching until the end. Let's jump right in. Number 10, My Award-Winning Chocolate Cake, USA. My Award-Winning Chocolate Cake is a family recipe passed down to a lady from her mother-in-law. She baked the cake during an event at her Baptist church in Oklahoma. Surprisingly, it won the Best All-Around award. This cake was baked only on special occasions, during birthdays, weddings. It was also bestowed severally on ones with a broken heart. The inspiration and motivation behind the occasionality of the cake was a favorite paragraph of the baker, beginning to believe that only in doing the biggest, wildest, and scariest things will we live lives of meaning and become people truly loved by God. So she decided to bake the cake only to celebrate or heal hearts. Apparently, she derives much joy from the smile her cake brings to faces. Number 9, Torta Caprese, Italy. Torta Caprese is an Italian cake. It is a dark chocolate cake made without any flour. It is made with dark chocolate, which is responsible for its dark color, and also the main ingredient, while the other ingredients are eggs, sugar, almonds, and butter. It is characterized by its dense chocolate texture and a top layer of powdered sugar. It is served at restaurants with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. The cake is often garnished with strawberries cut in halves. It is believed that the cake was invented by mistake, when a cook rushed through the process and left out the flour from a recipe that turned out perfect. As of today, the Torta Caprese is an important part of many Italian celebrations and special events. Number 8, German Chocolate Cake, USA. Don't be confused. This cake wasn't invented in Germany, but in fact, it is an American invention. It is a dessert consisting of 3 layers of interspersed buttermilk sponge and chocolate, mixed with shredded coconut and peanuts. The cake has a luxurious visual appearance because it is garnished with already cut coconut, pecans, and maraschino cherries. The German chocolate cake was named in honor of Sam German, who invented the recipe for Baker's Chocolate Company in 1852. The cake became famous in 1957 when a Texas cook sent her recipe to a Dallas-based newspaper. To date, the German chocolate cake still has a wrongful impression of being German-originated, although it is an American classic. This cake is celebrated annually on June 11th, which is known as the National German Chocolate Cake Day. Number 7, CHOCOTORTA, Argentina. CHOCOTORTA simply means chocolate cake. The exciting part of this cake is the fact that it wasn't baked. It is a dessert developed by Italian cuisine, and it was modeled on the famous Italian tiramisu. It is made with 3 common Argentinian ingredients: chocolate biscuits, dulce de leche, and cream cheese. The cookies are softened in milk and covered with a mixture of cream cheese and dulce de leche. The shapes of the CHOCOTORTA vary, and so do the making procedures, as the biscuit can be soaked with chocolate milk, coffee, and coffee liqueur, alcoholic coffee. The CHOCOTORTA was invented as a marketing strategy to promote the sales of Chocolina's chocolate cookies. CHOCOTORTA is rarely found in restaurants, and it remains a novel dessert outside of Argentina. Number 6, Devil's Food Cake, USA. It was given the name Devil's Food because of its dark color and its tempting look, because it was made with an enormous amount of dark chocolate and a rich, velvety buttercream frosting, which makes it very hard to resist for cake lovers. It was invented in the early 1900s, when the demand for baked chocolate and unsweetened cocoa powder was at its peak, and it was already available and affordable. In 1902, the Devil's Food recipe was dubbed and published in several cookbooks, and was slyly subtitled as Fit for Angels. Devil's Food had become one of the most famous cake mix flavors recipes as of 1950. Today, it has its own annually celebrated holiday on May 19th. Guys, I don't want you to miss the top 3 cakes, so keep watching. Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Number 5, Rigolyánsi, Hungary. It was invented in the 20th century and was named after a famous Hungarian gypsy violinist who seduced and eventually married Clara Ward, the daughter of an American millionaire, Eber Brock Ward, and the wife of a Belgian prince, de Caramanchime. The Rigolyánsi is a classic dessert consisting of 2 layers of chocolate sponge held by a mousse, like a cocoa cream filling, which is sometimes flavored with a splash of dark rum. The cake itself is covered in a rich, dark chocolate ganache. It is one of the most famous Hungarian desserts. It is also popular in Rijeka, a city in Croatia, because Clara and Rigo visited Rijeka in 1896. The locals loved the cake. The cake is still served regularly in the city. Number 4. Bolo de Brigadeiro, Brazil. Bolo de Brigadeiro is a traditional Brazilian cake that is commonly found at birthday parties. The cake consists of 3 layers of tender and moist crumb chocolate cake, and the fudgy Brigadeiro filling and frosting made with condensed milk, table cream, margarine, chocolate powder, full fat milk, and cornstarch. The cake itself is made with flour, sugar, butter, oil, eggs, vanilla, whole milk, cocoa powder, baking soda, and baking powder. Once the cake is baked and frosted, it is garnished with chocolate sprinkles on all sides, and sometimes they are decorated with a few Brigadeiro balls. Number 3. KLADDKAKA, Sweden. Made from butter, sugar, flour, eggs, and cocoa or chocolate, KLADDKAKA is a famous Swedish dessert rich chocolate cake. It is then mixed into a dense and luscious dessert. After baking, the cake always remains moist in the center. At the same time, the outer layer is transformed into a thin, crunchy coating. The cake is normally covered with powdered sugar because of its incredible density and the quantity of bitter chocolate or cocoa. It is traditionally served with ice cream or whipped cream. It is one of the most popular and most enjoyed Swedish desserts. It is usually common during fika, traditional Swedish coffee break. Number 2. Molten chocolate cake, USA. It was said that this cake was a blessing in disguise. It was invented by chef Jean-Georges von Grichten when he mistakenly pulled his chocolate sponge cake out of the oven before time. Once he cracked open the thin, spongy outer part, he was met with liquid chocolate oozing out of the cake, as if it was finally set free from confinement. Though it was claimed by a French chef and chocolatier that such a cake already existed in France, it was von Grichten that made the molten cake popular, and it was then nicknamed lava cake. This created a global sensation that started in the United States and later became a must-have on menus of numerous respectable restaurants. The cake matches the elements of a soufflé and flourless cake, which is made with eggs, butter, sugar, and chocolate. The most important and crucial part of the baking is the timing. Number 1. SACHERTORTE, Vienna. There are 2 versions of the CHOCOTORTA. The original is the most famous Austrian cake. It was invented in 1832 by Franz Sacher, a pastry chef for Austria's state chancellor at that time. The prince wanted a new cake, so he told Sacher and obliged him to make something new from the ingredients that were readily available in the kitchen. Luckily for Sacher, the cake was a huge hit. It is a layered chocolate sponge cake that is thinly coated with high-quality apricot mâme and topped with chocolate icing. It has the best taste when served with unsweetened whipped cream. Later, Franz Sacher's son opened a hotel called Sacher in 1876, serving the popular cake to date. Nevertheless, the demo version, which doesn't have the additional layer of apricot jam in the middle, is almost equally popular. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.